Hello and welcome to Dining with Death. This episode is on my playlist Dining with the Departed, where we talk about famous or infamous people who have passed. We talk about their lives and their careers and what they're famous or infamous for, and then we eat their favorite food or sometimes their last meal. I'm Stacey Lee. Let's begin. We are going to be discussing substance abuse today, so if that's a sensitive subject for you, you may not want to watch this. Mac Miller was born Malcolm James McCormick on January 19, 1992 in Pittsburgh. His mother, Karen, is a photographer and his father, Mark, is an architect. His older brother is named Miller. He was raised Jewish but attended a Catholic school and later went to Winchester Thurston School and then graduated from Taylor Aldrich High School. Mac was interested in music from the time he could walk, and by age 6, he was playing piano, guitar, drums, and bass. When he was young, he wanted to be a singer, but then he got into high school and decided to focus on rap. He said, "Once I hit 15, I got real serious about it, and it changed my life completely. I used to be into sports, play all the sports, go to all the high school parties, but once I found out hip-hop is almost like a job, that's all I did." He started using the name Easy Mac, and in 2007, when he was 15, he made and released a mixtape titled But My Mackin' Ain't Easy. By 2009, he changed his rap name to Mac Miller and released 2 more mixtapes, The Jukebox, Prelude to Class Clown, and The High Life. In 2010, he won big at the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards, claiming the 21 and Under of the Year title and Best Hip Hop Video for his song Live Free. Later that year, Mac signed with the independent label Rostrum Records, and with that label produced the mixtape Kids. This production started to get Mac Miller noticed. Other labels became interested in the young rapper, but he decided to stay with Rostrum because of its association with Wiz Khalifa. Mac wasn't getting the airplay he wanted on radio, so he focused on building a following through social media, and he toured constantly, playing whenever and wherever he got the chance. I often get into debates with people about why I don't like shows like American Idol and things like that. I mean, they're great, they're fine, but the old school way of making it, you go out and you play and you play and you play and you play. You build a following organically. So I guess, this is just me being old and not liking the new way of doing it, but I really respect the fact that he made mixtapes on his own, and then he was willing to go out and play every show, no matter how small it was, no matter how far away it was, to build his audience. I think it shows a lot of integrity as an artist. I'll just leave it at that. In 2011, XXL, the hip hop magazine, featured Mac Miller in its yearly freshman class list, alongside 10 other up-and-coming rappers like Kendrick Lamar and Meek Mill. In 2011, his first single hit the US Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 75. Later that year, he released a 6-track EP entitled On and Beyond, and that EP got him on the US Billboard 200 charts, peaking at number 55. In late 2011, Mac went into the studio to produce his first studio album that he titled Blue Slide Park. That album debuted atop the Billboard 200 and was the first independently distributed album to do so since the Dog Pound's Dog Food clear back in 1995. Audiences liked this album, but the critics weren't so sure and kind of gave him mixed reviews. A lot of people considered Mac Miller's style at the time to be frat rap because the lyrics focused on partying, smoking pot, and lusting after fame, women, and money. Mac Miller did not want to be known as a frat rapper. He listened to the criticism. He didn't like it. He didn't want to be lumped in with frat rap, and so he changed his style and started to be more expressive and experimental with his new work. Such a fine line as an artist. All of you that have artistic endeavors, you know that. Do you listen to the critics? Do you not listen to the critics? Do you not listen to them too much? Do you not listen to them at all? It's always a very tough question to answer if you're someone who makes music or makes art. How much do you listen to outside influences? Wiz Khalifa was a mentor to Mac Miller, and Miller said he was like a big brother to him. Mac Miller lists his influences as Big L, Lauryn Hill, Beastie Boys, Outkast, and A Tribe Called Quest, along with Eminem and John Lennon, whose face he actually had tattooed on his body several times. He spoke very frankly and openly about his struggles with depression and with substance abuse. When he was on tour in 2012, he began taking promethazine, which is a very old drug used for allergies and insomnia, but also sometimes for psychosis. Miller then became addicted to lean, which is the street name for mixing that promethazine with cough syrup. The mixture is very dangerous, and it's named lean because people have a hard time standing up straight when they take it. It affects the central nervous system and also acts as a respiratory depressant. It can also intensify seizures, and it's highly addictive. I have a lot of people that don't believe me when I say that I have never tried drugs because I've spent my adult life as a musician, a gigging musician, like on the road doing the small dates, the little shows. But that scares me. I mean, a drug that makes it so you can't stand up straight and it depresses your central nervous system, that just doesn't sound like fun to me. Also, I like to joke around with people. I'm like, let's see, pot. I'd be hungry and I'd be tired. I'm already hungry and tired. Let's see, Coke. I would lose a bunch of weight. I'd have a ton of energy. I'd never need to sleep. I would be living under a bridge in a week. I mean, I am not the brightest bulb on the chandelier, but I am smart enough to know that. So I just have stayed away from drugs because I'm either scared of the effects or I feel like I would be addicted. And also, with my dad being a judge and law enforcement and that kind of stuff, I was always scared to get in trouble. My dad wasn't the, you're the judge's daughter, you get special treatment judge. My dad was the throw her in jail and let her learn a lesson type of a judge. So yeah, I was always scared of getting in trouble. Mac told an interviewer for Complex, "I love lean, but I was not happy, and I was on lean very heavy. I was so up at the time, it was bad. My friends couldn't even look at me the same, and I was lost." He quit taking promethazine in November of 2012 before shooting his new reality show, Mac Miller and the Most Dope Family, but he started again in 2014 and admits he was on drugs every day. He got so sick that he told his friends he felt like his song Grand Finale would be the last song he ever made. He cleaned up somewhat around 2016, but admitted he was never completely sober. Mac Miller had an on-again, off-again relationship with writer Nomi Leisure, a girl that he met in middle school. They dated for 7 years until they broke it off in 2016. Mac Miller then began seeing Ariana Grande, and the two were together from August of 2016 to May of 2018. Ariana Grande has always said that she is a huge fan of Mac Miller's music. Like I always say in these episodes, I would love to play you some of his fantastic stuff, but I can't because of the rules here. Mac was arrested in February of 2011 for possession of marijuana and spent the night in jail. He later settled that case without any jail time. In 2012, a producer filed a $10 million lawsuit against Mac and Rostrum Records, claiming a sample of their song was used in Miller's 2010 mixtape song, Kool-Aid and Frozen Pizza. The lawsuit was eventually settled out of court for an undisclosed amount of money. Mac was sued again in 2015 by the band Aquarian Dream for sampling their song, so he had his fair share of legal issues pretty quickly on in his career. He was arrested again in May of 2018 for DUI and hit and run after crashing into a utility pole and leaving the scene of the accident with his 2 passengers. He was arrested and released on $15,000 bail, and this case was actually ongoing at the time of his death. In 2014, Mac signed with Warner Brothers, a major label that he chose because he felt they had the most independent thinking. He released his major label debut, Good AM, and then released The Divine Feminine in 2016. That album features Mac singing nearly as much as he's rapping, and it's an album with a lot of R&B and jazz and funk influences. Both of these albums were successful and well received by the critics. In August of 2013, Mac Miller released his 5th album, entitled Swimming, and critics loved this album. They called it wistful and warm. Swimming debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, and the album was nominated for Best Rap Album at the Grammys. Mac Miller was in a really good place. He was happy. He spent time with his friend and bassist, Thundercat, and his daughter. He invited him over to his home in California to spend the day celebrating the girl's 12th birthday. Mac wanted to be there with his friend and his friend's daughter to celebrate that special day, and he asked his friend, "What do I get a 12-year-old?" To which Thundercat replied, "I don't know, some Gucci flip-flops?" After the party, Mac sat with his friend and his 12-year-old daughter, watching her favorite TV shows and trolling her friends on Instagram and Snapchat. Thundercat later said, "The happiness was there. I could see it. It wasn't fake." It would be the last time the musician saw his friend. A week later, on September 7th, 2018, just before noon, police officers responded to a panicked 911 call placed by Mac Miller's personal assistant and longtime sober coach, who had discovered Mac's lifeless body in a bedroom in his huge home. Police arrived along with EMTs, but there was nothing they could do. Mac Miller was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy was performed and found that Miller died of an accidental overdose of fentanyl, cocaine, and alcohol. The rapper, whose short career was defined by a relentless desire to improve his craft, was gone. He was only 26 years old. His death came as a shock to everyone, even those closest to him. By all accounts, he was in the best mental and physical condition of his adult life. He was doing well. He was healing. He hadn't been using, and he was happy. He was working consistently with his sober coach since 2016 and was working out at a Los Angeles gym nearly every day. Ty Dolla $ign had been working with Mac on a joint project and had seen him 2 weeks before his death. He said, "Mac was in good spirits. He had everybody in the room dying laughing." He continued, "Mac had met Fifth Harmony member Dinah Jane for the first time that day, and she didn't think he was going to be that cool, but he was super cool." I'm like, yeah, man, that's Mac. Ty said when he learned of Mac's death, it was the first time he had cried in years. Thundercat and Mac Miller had big plans to go out on tour and to shoot music videos together. Thundercat says, "Mac just wanted people to know how hard he'd been working. Up until the last words we spoke to each other, it was nothing short of pure excitement." People knew Mac had been disappointed in himself for getting a DUI. It bothered him, but it also woke him up, and he was determined to do better. Friends who knew Mac Miller shared what kind of person he was. Ty Dolla $ign said he was always polite to everybody. He spoke to everyone as soon as he came into the room. He would shake everybody's hand. He was just a super nice dude. Nobody that I know can say anything bad about him. Ariana Grande shared a post on Instagram that said, "I adored you from the day I met you when I was 19, and I always will. We talked about this so many times. I'm so mad. I'm so sad. I don't know what to do." Chance the Rapper wrote of Miller, "Beyond helping me launch my career, he was one of the sweetest guys I ever knew. Great man. I loved him for real. I'm completely broken. God bless him." Elton John paid tribute to Mac Miller on the opening show of his farewell tour, dedicating his first song to the rapper. Friends said Mac Miller would have gotten a huge kick out of knowing that someone as iconic as Elton John was dedicating a song to him. Star-studded tribute concerts were performed, fans created memorials, and the music community mourned the loss of someone who was just getting started, but who also left us a fantastic catalog of music as his legacy. Mac Miller was buried at Homewood Cemetery in his hometown of Pittsburgh at a Jewish funeral. Now, as we always do on this playlist, we are going to talk a little bit about Mac Miller's favorite foods. There were a couple of different things, but I chose to pick the most iconic Mac Miller food moments. You know we're having frozen pizza and red Kool-Aid. Come on, the iconic song. This is Junk Food Central. I read an article that said he particularly liked the Trader Joe's barbecue chicken pizza that his mom would buy, so that's what I've got. And Mac Miller was serious about his cereal. He loved cold cereal, and his favorite was French Toast Crunch, which I could not find anywhere. I had to order this. Let's give it a taste. Gluten. Something I never get. That's not bad pizza. I like barbecue chicken pizza. It's one that I order probably more often than not. Is there anything more iconic American junk food than bright red Kool-Aid? Oh my gosh. Full sugar Kool-Aid. I don't know how long it's been since I've had that. It is every bit as good as I remember it, that tropical punch. Just the smell kind of zaps you back to like junior high, right? Oh, that's good. There is a really famous and iconic photo of Mac Miller with boxes of French toast crunch. So it cracked me up when I saw it, and I knew I had to feature that as well. My little granddaughter's already got into it, so it's open. Look at those. They're little tiny toasts. They're like little itty bitty slices of French toast. That is so cute. That is so cute. I've never had this. Oh my gosh. It totally smells like French toast. 100%. That tastes exactly like French toast. It even has that eggy flavor that French toast has, you know, because you dip it in egg before you fry it. That's actually kind of spooky. Our food chemicals are getting way too good. Exactly like French toast. Exactly. Thank you for joining me today on Dining with Death, Dining with the Departed, as we remembered this really talented and really nice person who had a disease that takes so many of our artists, and it's only getting worse. On the off chance that this might help somebody, I'm going to include the number that you can call if you are dealing with a substance abuse problem. There is help. I know it's not easy, but we are all rooting for you. Stay safe and be kind to each other, and I'll see you next time on Dining with Death. Bye.